This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, March 4. In Squiz Kids today, bee stings beat snake bites. New Zealand's glow-in-the-dark sharks. Tennis demon does a roadrunner. And saving the platypus. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
As a country, Australia punches above its weight when it comes to creepy crawlies whose bites and stings are so packed with poison they can knock you down dead if you're really unlucky. But, according to a report released yesterday, the average Aussie is twice as likely to end up in hospital as a result of a bee sting than any encounter with a snake or spider. Highly venomous snakes and spiders, poisonous jellyfish and octopuses, you name it, we've got it here in the wide brown land. And when someone is bitten or stung by one of these animals, it almost always makes news headlines. So it's easy to think that it happens a lot. But, according to this report, run-ins with snakes and spiders happen much less frequently than you might think. Which, frankly, makes me feel much better about poking around in my back shed. The report found that out of 3,500 people admitted to hospital for contact with a venomous plant or animal, 1/3 were there to be treated for bee stings or wasp stings. Fewer than 1 in 5 had been bitten by a spider or snake, and just over 1 in 10 had been stung by a marine animal, like a bluebottle or a jellyfish. Ant bites accounted for 1 in 10 hospital visits. And of those, interestingly, 1 in 3 was because of a bite from an ant called a jack jumper. It's commonly found in Tassie and packs a mean punch to anyone who finds themselves between its pincers. There's a link in today's episode notes to a photo of the jack jumper. You know, just so you know what to avoid.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in New Zealand, where, stop the presses and hold the phones, a species of glow-in-the-dark sharks has been discovered. These babies live deep, deep, deep down in the ocean, a place where even sunlight rarely reaches. Scientists think the sharks have developed the ability to light up in the dark, both as a form of defense, to camouflage them to predators that might be below them and looking up towards the light, and also as a warning sign to predators above who might think twice of attacking once they realise it's a shark. While it's common for insects like fireflies to produce their own light, this is the first time the phenomenon has been found in sharks. Glow-in-the-dark sharks. Now I've heard it all. Oh, and there's a link to them, of course, in today's episode notes.
Sport time!
He's already known as the Demon, but Aussie tennis player Alex de Minaur earned himself a new nickname yesterday, the Roadrunner. The tennis champ was in a match against fellow Aussie John Millman at a tournament in Rotterdam, which is a city in the Netherlands. Battling it out with Millman, de Minaur played a rally, which is the term given to the hitting the ball back and forward over the net, that saw the pair fire 44 shots at one another. Every time it seemed as if Millman had hit a winner into one corner, de Minaur managed to get to it. Every time he sent him back to the other side of the court, the road runner was there, ending the exchange with a shot that can only be described as a belter. Alex de Minaur went on to win the match 6-1, 6-4, and John Millman could only stand back and applaud. And of course there's a link to video of the rally in today's episode notes.
Animal Kingdom.
It's probably the cutest native animal we have. Funny waddle, duck bill, lays eggs but is otherwise a mammal. So, it's no wonder that on the occasion of World Wildlife Day yesterday, Taronga Zoo announced plans to ensure the platypus has a long and happy life in Australian waterways. Called the Platypus Pledge, the zoo yesterday announced it was determined to make sure the platypus stays off the endangered species list, and, as part of that pledge, they are building a brand new $8 million platypus refuge at their Western Plains Zoo in Dubbo in Western New South Wales. So, there's another cool reason to visit Dubbo. There's a link in today's episode notes to a video of Taronga vets caring for injured platypus and releasing them back into the wild. And my oh my are they cute.
Q&A call out.
We're getting close now, people. Close to the deadline for you to send in your questions for Queensland's Professor David Flannery, who's agreed to take the Squiz Kids Q&A hot seat and give you the lowdown on being part of the NASA team that helped put Mars rover Perseverance up on the red planet. Perseverance, as you'd already know if you're a Squiz Kids regular, is up on Mars right now, studying the rocks there for signs that there may once have been living things on that planet. Did you know that Professor Flannery started out studying rocks in outback Australia? Or that right now he's busy helping NASA plan a mission that will send humans to Mars? That's a 7-month journey through outer space. Tomorrow's the last day to get your questions in to Professor Flannery. Send them to squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. And a huge thanks to everyone who's sent questions in already. They're fantastic. And don't forget, there's a bunch of links to Perseverance resources in today's episode notes if you need some inspiration.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What sort of marine animal has been discovered glowing in the dark in waters off New Zealand? That's right, they're sharks. Question number 2. What's the name of the Aussie tennis player who won an epic 44-shot rally yesterday? Yeah, it's Alex de Minaur. Question number 3. Taronga Zoo has just announced the creation of a new refuge for which animal? Yep, it's the platypus.
Shout outs.
It's March 4, birthday for the Happy Birthday song, which first appeared in print on this day 97 years ago. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Cleo from North Curl, Cece from Pakenham, Oscar from Beaconsfield, Tessa from Fulham, Violetta from Darlington, Sam from Richmond, Sophie from Jindalee, Raph from Williamstown, Willow from Melbourne, Risha from Point Cook, Kobe from Coniston, Olivia and Will from Ingham, Sunny from Sydney, Alex from Cloncurry, Maddie from Forest Lake, Brian from Exeter and Cooper from New South Wales. And some belated birthday shout-outs go to Jai and Joey from Burnie and Evie from Warren Ponds. Happy birthday, one and all. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Ms. Simmons' 3-4S class at Bathurst Public School, Years 3, 4, 5 and 6 at Stewarttown Public School, Class Warradan at Tuggerah Public School, and a special shout-out to Shoal Bay Public School with their teacher, Mrs. Dura, whose birthday it is today. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.